we have Todd's IC-7610, and we're going to install the Asymod 6 in it. Here we have Todd's Icom IC-7610, and we've just installed the Asymod 6 in it internally. As you can see, we have the controls on the top panel. You have your carrier, modulation, and asymmetry controls. Here on the rear panel, we've mounted the line end connector, our amp keyer, jack, and we've put the Asymod Disable enable switch right here. The Asymod is disabled and the radio is back to 100% factory specs. On the top position, the Asymod is enabled, and the off position, the Asymod is disabled. Okay, so in this IC-7610, we have the Asymod enable disable switch in the back. Right now is in the enabled position. We've switched to AM. For this radio, we need to put our power, our carrier, at 100% while using the Asymod. And our carrier will be controlled by here. So enable the switch in the back, plug in the 1/4-inch jack coming from the audio process chain, put the radio on AM, set your RF power to max, and set all your controls counterclockwise. Next thing is, we'll go ahead and set a dead key. There we have a 50-watt slug. And we'll go ahead and key up using the mic, Icom mic. As we can see, we're on TX mode. We'll go ahead and use the transmit button instead. We'll go ahead and transmit, and we'll bring our carrier up until we see, let's put 2 watts. You can set it wherever you want. It's not recommended to go above 10 watts. So 2 watts of carrier. Start the tone with Pro Tools. Right here, the signal generator. And now we see we have our modulation envelope. And we're under modulated right there, so we'll go ahead and bring the modulation up until we see 100%. Right there is 100%. Here we are in the 160 meter band, and we're just going to do a test. Go ahead and transmit. These radios have a nice linear PA. Here on 80 meters is also giving me 2 watts. So we just adjust the reference here on the oscilloscope. Start the SIGGEN. And there we have our modulation envelope. We'll come and raise our modulation up until we see our 100, which is right there. Then you can increase your asymmetry. Let's go ahead and switch to 80 meters and bring all the controls down. Disable the SIGGEN. Go ahead and transmit. Look for a 2 watt dead key on the meter. Right there. Adjust our oscilloscope again. Start the tone. And there we have our modulation envelope. That's 150% modulation right there. One more, add asymmetry. You can see as you add the asymmetry, your RF power goes up. So that's on 80 meters. Let's go ahead and try 40. Here we are on 40 meters. We'll go ahead and transmit. We'll bring up our carrier. Look for the 2 watts again. Right there. Our reference is okay. Start the SIGGEN. There we go. We have our modulation envelope. Bring up your modulation. There you go. Let's go to the 20 meter band. Bring our controls down. And disable the SIGGEN. Go to 20 meters. And so we'll go ahead and transmit. Bring up our carrier control. Two watts. Just here. Start the SIGGEN. We're undermodulated, so raise up the modulation. Right there, we're about 150% modulation already. You can bring up your asymmetry up to 300 if you want to. That's 100 right there. Okay, last we'll go to the 10 meter band and we'll stop transmitting. Go to 28. Let's go to 29,300. AM 29,300. Right there. So we'll bring the controls down. We'll kill the SIGGEN. We'll transmit. Bring up the carrier. Look for the 2 watts on the meter. Set the reference on the oscilloscope. Bring that a little bit down. There. And start the SIGGEN again. And there we have our modulation envelope. That's a little under 100%. We'll bring up our modulation over here. Up a little bit. That's about 100% right there. And we can bring up our asymmetry up. Or down. There you have it. That's 150% modulation. That's 200. That's 250. That's 300 and change. But of course, you don't want to go past that. 150% is fine. So there you have it. The Asymod Icom IC-7610 Hi-Fi Asymmetrical AM and eSSB transceiver.